was gonna say, yeah, if you listen to Chopper Chops, that's one of the only tunes that are in that vein, innit? Like that's probably the only tune that was like that. Every other
Really?
tune was just other stuff in it. Like it was lifestyle, it was girls, it was road, it was whatever. But
Yeah,
so to me, it was just the tune sick, and then because it blew up and it kind of started taking him into that direction where it opened up conversation. I just think
yeah,
man run with it. Like I look at it's like producers. Like producers, more time producers do bare different sounds, bare different music. The tune that buses, they will just keep running with that because at the end of the day, it's us for them. Do you see what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
look at London. You know that you got London on the track. Like obviously he was doing all the futury um Metro Boomin type stuff. But now he's doing stuff with Summer Walker, like the R&B stuff. So he was probably doing R&B stuff from back in the day, but that
yeah.
music just popped, so man ran with it. And that's how I think Bashi, I just think he ran with it. I think like maybe someone like you can always tell, okay, someone like a Carla, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like he is living, embodying the thing. Like man is reading, man's got the dreads. Like man is really going all out to be like, okay, I am. This is what I embody in it. Like
Yeah,
Bashi, sick. It was a sick tune, sick moment. But he's done that and kind of then moved away from it. You see what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
think that's what makes me further think it was just I fell into it. It was working. I believe it. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think he didn't believe in the tune or whatever, but I think it was more like he weren't trying to be Martin Luther Bashi.
yeah.
I think it was just a tune that man done and it popped. You get me?
Oh,
But
yeah,
Carla, you see a Carla on there talking about he's on there reading all these different books and talking to you about these different black leaders, and
mm,
he's on GMTV talking. Do you see what I'm saying? There's a
mm,
difference, I think, anyway. It's
yeah,
like George the Poet as well. The
yeah,
man that
yeah.
embodying the thing.
It's true.
You get me?
I was watching Risky
Yeah,
Road.
and obviously like
Got you.
no, go on. You say you was watching Risky Road.
Yeah, no, I said I was watching Risky Roads like 2 days ago. Just kind of, I haven't watched it in years. So I watched it yesterday and like,
Mm,
I watched it like 2 days back, and it's just so funny to see like where people have come from. So like when like
mm,
on
mm.
you watch Bashi on Risky Roads, you just think what a journey, man. What a growth.
Yeah, mate.
What a growth as
He's
a
come
man.
a long way. Yeah, he's
What a
come a
growth.
long way.
Even ghetto, like oh my god.
Yeah. Now, to me, Ghetto, especially Risky Roads 1, obviously Risky Roads 2, I feel like that was the beginning of okay, gets his kind of he's not trying to find like he's finding himself, but he knows who he is. He's in the East thing because that was when it's like is his moment.
Yeah,
Risky
yeah.
Roads 1, I feel like he was still trying to be this. I've just come out of jail.
That's what I'm
I'm
trying to
like,
say though. Like he still had the
yeah,
flipping
I'm like
gold
the
on.
Aggie Titch,
He had the
gold on
black hot
both
teeth and
teeth.
shit.
Yeah,
Like to
yeah.
go from that
He's come a long
ghetto,
way.
from that ghetto there to get he was doing the concert on the quarantine, bro. That's
Mm.
like not
Like
even
even just the
musically,
swag and that, like,
as a man, like just as a
mm,
whole man, bruv. Like,
mm.
like you,
Man
like
heard him on the other. Go on,
now. All I was gonna say
go
was
on, sir.
to say, raw. You, there's no way you can watch Risky Roads 1 without knowing what became of anybody and know that he, of all people, is going to go on and be Gets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. I feel that 100%. And I was literally seeing on the other day. He was talking on his page, and he was saying like, oh, like obviously he knows that he fully believes that God is real. He's seen God work in his life, and like he's a Christian and rare, and I just thought And obviously, everyone's entitled to believe what they believe or whatever. Obviously, I'm a Christian as well, but it was more like, raw when you think of where ghetto, how he came out, like, and obviously, I've kind of me being in the scene at the time, me being in and around certain man, like obviously, man had relationships with Fleur and Passer, like just knowing, like obviously not taking any kind of side, but just knowing on and how ghetto was moving, to see that to then what he's doing now, like all the stuff he's talking about with his daughter and rare tete, you just think, mate, you gotta appreciate growth, man. You gotta appreciate growth. And that's like with all of them, a lot of them, like the younger ones, like the only one that you would say, and even Wiley, I would say that Wiley, he's grown in some ways, and in other ways he's not. He's kind of like the 50 a little bit, where you can see their growth, but they're still petty. And if you get, I mean, they still know how to tap into the young man kind of mindset, or they tap into what made them big. If you get, what I mean, I don't think Wiley
100%,
can stop being Wiley, but
100%.
he's still, even the way he's talking, you can hear the growth in what he's saying. You see what I'm saying? Like in some of the things he's talking about and reflecting. Like obviously, I don't know if I
What
saw a little clip. I ain't watched it, but I saw some clips with Poet,
I
and he
watched it
was
today.
talking about we should have.
I watched the whole episode today.
Yeah, I want to watch it still, but even the way he was talking about, we should have put ourselves in position to sign some of the younger artists and Rare Tear Tear, and even just what he's fighting for. Because a lot of Wiley, you can say what you want about him, but a lot of what he's fighting for is the empowerment of black, like the people in our scene, the empowerment of our scene. Like we don't need the labels who are trying to dictate our thing. That's a lot what he's fighting for, which is not wrong at all. It's right, but it's just
Mm.
Wiley doing it in a Wiley way. What makes it a little bit like he just seems a bit scatty or without reason.
He sound Wiley's growth is reflected more, I think, in interviews more than in his music. His
Oh
music's
yeah,
good. That's not, and
1000%. I don't think
yeah,
what's grown in music.
and that's to say, and I just want that to say that his
Yeah.
music is good. I'm not questioning the standard or the quality. He's Wiley, but what I noticed is, for example, you see with like, I'm trying to think who it is now. Um, all right, you see, there was a rapper, yeah, but I can't remember who. If you remember who it was, let me know, yeah. But there was a rapper,
Mm,
I think it might have been Jay Spades, possibly. But somebody, I don't know, someone had a disagreement with Stormzy one time on socials about something. I don't think it was all that serious. I think it was Jay
mm,
Spades. But he kind of said something to him, kind of like this is before Stormzy was up, so this isn't like
mm.
rich Stormzy, you know what I mean? And he's kind of said whoever
Yeah,
it was, yeah, I don't even want to put Spades' name to it unless it was him, but my memory is
yeah,
thinking that. And he said something basically to him like he said like mind yourself or something, little Adidas you or something, but in a derogatory way in it, like
yeah,
and the thing is, and then the thing is, yeah, it proper looked like an older. He proper. It wasn't two people talking like they're in the same generation. Do you know what I mean? Like Jay
mm,
Spade
mm.
definitely. If it were Jay Spade, oh my god, if it was, he was definitely talking to someone like raw. Like who's this little youth trying to? You get me? But
Yeah, yeah,
and I know, but what I'm saying is that when you hear Wiley's music and then you hear Stormzy's music, you don't feel like you're hearing like a 24-year-old or whatever versus a 41-year-old. Like his music isn't
no,
aging, you know.
yeah, no, I agree with that. But then that might just be because of the way grime is, isn't it? And obviously, it's probably another topic in general, but grime has become a nostalgic type of sound where if you don't do that sound, it's not grime anymore, if you get what I mean. So it will always sound like it did when man was a youth, because really that's what the music is. It's like now, if a man comes and does old school garage or jungle, it sounds like old school garage or jungle. It don't sound like, oh, they've revamped it. It sounds like they've tried to tip their hat to that sound. Because if you do something else now, it's just something else. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if you did a jungle tune now, it's just jungle, or it's just a jungle or drum and bass, or it just isn't. Like it's not there's no kind of hybrid stuff really. They will just call
yeah,
it something else. They might say, oh, he drew on elements of rare tear tear, but
mm,
so grime has become almost like a niche genre. So he's always gonna sound like that, because otherwise it's not grime. I think the one thing, but I get what you mean in that he's the only thing I would say with Wiley that I rate about Wiley is that he always manages to catch one. So even
yeah,
in the midst of all of his
yeah,
grime and every repetitive, and it might just be because he does so much music, but he always catches, every couple of years he'll catch a hit, or he'll catch
yeah,
something where it's like, okay, that's paying, his PRS is flowing. Like obviously
yeah,
Bosie,
yeah.
that probably bought him another yard or
No,
something. You know what I'm
you
saying?
see,
So
and that's what's mad, you know. I don't even, sorry to interject right there, but that is what is mad
no,
though.
no.
Like tunes like Bosie is grown, but Bosie's not grime. So the songs that he makes that are
Mm,
not grime, those songs do reflect maturity musically. They
mm,
do. They sound
mm,
like that. Sound like Bosie sounds his age, bro. It sounds like someone his age, but who still got it.
mm,
Whereas,
mm.
whereas, whereas all that 140 BPM, all of that stuff that he's still doing now, just like it's like a man who's just got a little Peter Pan type of thing. But you know what though?
I get you.
But you know what though? The fact that he's still so forefront after after 20 odd years or whatever, he's so forefront that he can still go head to head with a Stormzy who is literally like the big cheese of this whole thing. Like is testament to the fact that boy can't we can't knock his staying power, man.
Yeah, and I think ultimately the thing is with Wiley is that win, lose or draw, you, you can't really say that he's not flying the grime flag, innit? And obviously, I do think the whole, for someone that is so, okay, you don't do grime or you jump in and out of grime, obviously he does do other genres. But I think
Mm,
in terms of grime and who you would say has done the most grime and most for grime, it's got to be Wiley, man. Let's be honest. Like it's so in that sense, you just got to kind of tip your hat to him. And like you said, there's not many people in music in life that have 20 years as a career, like have a 20-year career, bro, and is still relevant. Not 20 years a man are only doing dungeon house parties sets. Like he is really on the charts. He's in your face. He's doing interviews with all the relevant people. He's, you know what I mean? He could probably at any moment go and do a one extra, do a capital extra, do a probably even a radio one. And
yeah.
he's still relevant. He's still relevant. And it's like, mate, that's hard to do. It's hard to be. And Wiley's hard working, very hard working.
Wiley,
Exactly.
when like, do you think that it's like hard for anyone to stomach? Because obviously Wiley was somebody before the birth of grime in the first place. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
grime started, and Wiley's already somebody. Like he's already
Up,
up there.
he's
Yeah,
deeper as you
he's
go.
already you know what I'm saying? Like he's already up there. So like I don't really want to name anyone because I'm not trying to make it about anyone in particular, but I think about
Dizzy.
no, no, because no, that's the wrong line of thinking.
Uh,
Still, no, because there's a lot
cool.
of men. Now, there's a lot of men who have been around Wiley at different parts in his career, and the thing is, yeah, is that I think there's this power and aura that Wiley genuinely brings. That if you're aligned with him and you're seen as one of his comrades in whatever collective he represents, it has this aura that rubs off on others, and then they feel like
Mm,
they're now Premier League top tier because they stand next to him. And I think to myself, like over the
mm,
years, being a fan of this thing, I've seen a lot of people adopt the feeling of a top boy because they're one of Wiley's guys, like Wiley's my man, like whatever. And I just think now,
mm,
2020, like there's not many of those people really still, from what appears to me, with much of a music career to even claim like. And I sometimes wonder, like, do they
mm.
ever like? I wonder, is there anybody like? I wonder if there's anybody from Risky Rose One, from the Wiley era, the Wiley age, Wiley whatever, that ever feel a bit sour. That like they ain't, they ain't made they ain't made a pound in the last 10 years in this thing, but Wiley's still Wiley.
Probably, but I think that if people are honest with themselves, Wiley works very hard. It's not like he's been lucky. Like Wiley, a lot of Wiley, I think success comes from throwing bare at the wall and something
Yeah,
will stick. If you get what I
yeah,
mean, like I don't think Wiley's everything Wiley does is by design, if that makes sense. I think some of it is, but I think
yeah,
some of it, and obviously, and not to, but be like not to kind of name drop or whatever, but being around him at a period, you see that he works crazy hard, bro. Like you gotta remember, he's making the beats, he's spitting, he's making beats, he's engineering, he's doing that, and he will be in the studio every single day, just doing
yeah.
3, 4 tunes a day and all of that. So
Mm.
if you can do that that long and that consistently for this amount of time, you can't really knock him, and that's why I feel like although there might be men that are a little bit like, oh, maybe they don't feel like he's better than them, or maybe they think he's wily scatty, or he's not reliable in certain things or whatever. One thing you can't knock is his work rate. And I just think if you work that hard and his talent, at the end of the day, say what you want about Wiley. Wiley is talented, isn't it? So I just think you can't really knock man's thing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So I think ultimately, like I think you can't hate really. You just can't really hate.
you think.
You get me?
Do you think?
But
Do you think God's gift hates him?
God's gift. Um,
Do you follow
I
why
don't know if he hates him.
do you follow why I'd ask about God's gift of all people?
Nah,
Like, does
nah.
that is that left? If that come out of left field?
Yeah, a little bit. But I don't know if they had a little passer or something.
All right, so not recently, but I remember there was a time, like, there was a time when, probably around the time when God's gift and Scorcher had a little difference of, I don't know what to call it, bruv. You hear me? But little back and forth, whatever.
Mm,
And I remember, like, at one point, God's gift was going back and forth with Wiley, and then Wiley was on radio and he was calling God's gift by his government name and that throughout the whole show. And he had lyrics for him, whatever. And then God's gift must have run up on the station. Um, I don't even know if it was Wolfpack. I think the whole Wolfpack thing might have even phased out by then. I'm not even sure, bro. Like, but I remember
mm,
whoever would have been around, he kind of ambushed the station with Wiley there, in it. And I always felt like, yeah, I feel like, yeah, you see Pay As You Go though.
yeah,
I feel like everybody in Pay As You Go feels as though Wiley snaked them. I feel like
yeah.
I feel like
Fun,
every single one of them feels snaked because not one of
funny
them.
enough, yeah. Go on, go on.
I was gonna say because not one of them, and I'm all saying it slowly in case someone comes to mind. but not one of them who was in that crew with him.
Yeah, yeah. I think we was even chatting about. I can't remember if it was me and you or if it was me and Mia. But Maxwell just looks no disrespect to man, but he just looks kind of ropey right now. Even when you listen to how he's doing his thing, and you look at Wiley, you just think it's night and day considering they were in the same crew.
I
Like,
go to
and obviously that can happen with
no,
a guy.
I go to the same barbers as Maxwell D, and he always shows me bare love. So I don't want to say anything.
No,
It's
man's
fine.
not disrespected. This is the
I,
thing.
no,
This is
but you ain't heard
this is the
you ain't heard
thing.
what I was, mate. You ain't heard what I was gonna say, mate. So,
Oh, go on, go. Go on. Go on. What is she gonna say?
to really understand the Maxwell D thing, you got to look back to things like Champagne Dance and that. You got to look at a guy,
Yeah.
who basically felt like he was on the brink of like solo superstardom, yeah, and ultimately it wasn't what happened, and then you know him like most of the other members, went on to create a crew of their own in their own image, as Wiley did with Roll Deep, and like with Maxwell, right? It's kind of like I feel as though he's been chasing like I feel like he's basically been chasing the era of serious, no we, champagne dance. Like he's been chasing that ever since, man. But the
Yeah.
thing is,
Yeah.
is that to be fair, Maxwell D has he's got a career, bruv. Like in terms, not musically, I mean like in terms of life. Like he's got a career. I'm pretty sure he's teaching. I'm on his Instagram. He's a teacher. Like and that's admirable. You get me? But at the same time, when he applies himself to the music and his attempts to stay current, it does come off a little forced.
I think sometimes as well, I think there's a weird thing. It's like there's a there's a thin line between staying true to yourself and moving with the times, if that makes sense. So you can be one of those. It's hard because when you're like a legacy act and people know you, it's like you're stuck between whether or not you give the people your fans who, because he must have fans that are like no matter what they're ride or die Max or D fans. So
Yeah,
you're
but
stuck between
not many, though.
no, but what I'm saying is,
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, yeah, you're stuck between give your actual fans what they want and adapt and move with the times, and in the hope that you get new fans, but you may alienate your old ones. And it's like, I think he's one of those artists. For one, they're unfortunate that their era was slightly before grime, so like his hottest time was before grime. So it's like you kind of even felt old for that. And then it's like, do you adapt and move into the okay, I'm a grime artist now and I'm gonna shift it and then I'm gonna move, or I just stay loyal to the fans I do have and hopefully that will make me kind of bust again. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a weird situation when you're like
100%.
it's a weird situation to be in still.
But it didn't. But ultimately, it didn't work. But the problem is, I think a problem, not the problem, but I think a problem is you touched on the fact that he's Magna Carta Holy Grail came before grime anyway. The thing is though, what I think is that he's one of them rappers or MCs who he was really good when you didn't even have to be really good to be really good. So what happened is that I honestly believe, and I could name a bag. Listen, Rico Dan, Flo Dan,
Jamaica B.
Like yeah, I could name a bag of them. Yeah, they they are they think that they are better than they actually are
Yeah,
because
100%.
of the fact, because not only the fact that they were once the top tier. I'm not denying it. Yeah, you were once top tier, and yeah, by association, you play for the top team. But
Yeah.
that being said, you're
And
still not
go
actually
on.
as good. You're just not as good as you think you are, bro. Like,
Yeah. And
just
also I think they came in an era where being a sound boy, being that, because obviously we know that grime, garage, even jungle and that, it kind of stems from the sound clashing era. You know, a lot of their dads are probably like my dad. Do you know what I mean? Like they're them old yard man that was probably in the sounds, and they've grown up on that, and you can see it's influenced them in their music. Because obviously, when you're around them, man, more time you know that them man are just English. You see what I'm saying? But they're Jamaican English, and they've grown around their dads who are probably yard man or are involved in that culture. So they've grown up in an era where being the yard man, sound man in a set is the thing. So you don't even have to be lyrical. You don't have to be flowy. You just gotta come with the energy, and you've just got to sound like. And that would have given you the rub. But I think it got to a stage where it was like after a while, for one, there's Barry doing that, and for two, you've even got man doing that are barring now. You got Doctor, you got Shizzle, you got Killer P, you got man that
right,
are
yeah,
actually
yeah,
you got
yeah,
even knowledge, like, and obviously I don't think knowledge was the sickest lyricist, but you got man are younger doing it, and it's like,
yeah,
bro, man can't just be coming and saying like just saying anything in a yardie accent, and that's gonna fly. Like it's that's after a while that's dead, and you then, and especially if you don't adapt, and the thing is with them man as well, and obviously obviously man don't whatever, but it's like they probably didn't have man around them saying, do you know what? Or it might have been Wiley. Miley might have been the only one. But like, bro, you might need to kind of step your game up. These youngers are barring. Like, you can't just come with that no
mm,
more and think that that's
mm,
gonna last. I don't
mm.
know if they were having the conversations or it was just a sense of I do my thing, they do their thing, and man's gonna do
I
my thing
lie,
until the wheels fall off.
I lie, though.
But
I lie,
yeah,
I lie.
no, but I
Because
feel you though. They're not as
how did them type of old school legacy MCs, how did they watch like Risky Roads here? How the hell did they watch Risky Roads when that came out? And after watching all the different artists on Risky Roads and stuff like that, how do you still feel like you are the top of the creme de la creme after like how like
But I think, yeah, but I think that's the difference between, but that's what I think is the difference between Wiley and maybe the rest of them. Because I genuinely think Wiley might have watched every single MC on Risky Roads, where them man might have just thought, why am I watching? I don't, and this is obviously, this is only me talking. I ain't had no conversations with them like this, but they might have been looking at it like, why am I watching all these guys? They're not on my level. And Wiley might have been
yeah
studying every single person saying, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. How do I get better? Ghetto just killed it. Kano's better than me. How do I get better than Kano? Like I think his mind is thinking like that 24 hours a day. Where them man might have just been thinking, I'm getting girls. Man them know who I am. I don't really need to
yeah
be worrying about that. Like Flodan didn't make beats. Like Rico, I don't think was making beats. Like, and they might have been, I don't know, they might have been on the roads. They might have been doing other things. Where Wiley is completely music and that's it. Like I'm a music nerd. But I
yeah
also think that might be the reason why Wiley, for whatever reason, has managed to stay consistent and has managed to stay relevant when most of his peers have gone by the wayside. You even look at Dizzy. Like, let's be real, Dizzy. Dizzy hasn't been able to keep up with the times in terms of how he sounds, And it might have been because he got to a stage where he may have felt so big that he didn't need to anymore. You see what I'm saying? You can hear it in
Yeah.
him. Like you can hear in his tone, you can hear in the way he spits. He don't sound like he's been listening to everyone. He don't sound, because no matter what everyone wants to say, when you listen to people, that's when it's not, you're not catting them, but you will listen to someone and say, okay, he's opened up a new lane of the way he attacks music. So maybe I've got to open
Yeah.
up a new lane of I attack music. It won't be the same, but that person may inspire you to start thinking, like, do you know what? I got to think a bit more out of the box, or I've got to actually dig a bit deeper. Like, that's not going to be good enough if these young boys are, or these brothers are doing this. And I think Dizzy don't sound like he did that. Wiley sounds like every single day he might be listening. And you know who else is like that? And obviously it's going off on topic, but Drake sounds like that. That's how Drake seems to move. Like Drake seems like he listens to everything.
Yeah.
So he knows when
He
the
does. He
different
does. He does.
waves are coming. He knows how to expand he expand his horizons and touch different things. And you can see that they're the artists that seem to do the best, because it's like they got their finger to the pulse a little bit more. I think that's why some of
Yeah.
the older artists just become like irrelevant, or they become like stale. Do you get me?
Yeah.
And I guess it's
True
easier
story.
said than done, because obviously it's not like, not everyone is into that aspect of music. Some people just want to create. Some people just, you get me. I think them artists, I think that might be why they're not here and why he is keeping it real.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mad
You get
stuff.
me?
Every crew thought
Yeah.
they were the big boy. Special delivery, wrist, and all this East Connect. You hear the way they
Mm,
was talking on that
mm,
DVD, boy. Demon rotted. You'd have thought Demon was Stormzy watching Risky Roll's interview.
mm,
I'm telling
mm,
you,
mm, mm. I could imagine.
like
I could imagine. But
star.